actually, this reminds me of a great story that actually happened. So we were chilling at the local bar, and this cat comes in, and he's a hipster, and he's with three of the hottest betties that you ever saw. And he's wearing a Zombie Joe's Garage work shirt. So we're like, okay, cool, he's one of us cats. He's got on track pants and New Balance shoes that your grandfather would wear. I go to my friend, I'm like, hey man, what do I do? He's like, Jeff, I'll hold your beer, you go do this. I'm like, okay, so I go up to this cat, and I'm like, hey cat, what car are you driving in? And he's like, oh, I'm in that old 57 out front. Right away, red flag goes up, I'm like, okay, do I A, beat his ass, or B, see where this goes? So, I like start pushing his buttons almost, and I'm like, oh, whoa, cat, that's pretty sweet. What do you got under the hood? What kind of wheels you got on there? And he's like, oh, it's got a 383, and it's got R22s in the rear, and R22s up front. And I'm like, oh, really, cat, that's pretty sweet, because last time I checked, and I get out my keys and I start jingling them at him, and I'm like, that appears to be my car. And he's like, and I go to his girls, and I'm like, hey, do you cats, do you betties want to go cruising for a real ride? And they're like, yeah, but that's my boyfriend. And I'm like, yeah, I got a pet goldfish at home. And they're like questioning me, they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought we were talking about things that weren't important. So we go for a ride or what? And we just took off, man. Oh, you know what, if you don't like it, man, you can mute me and that's fine. But if you do like it, I absolutely take my hat off to you and welcome you to the Seaport Classic community. Because, yeah, it is a tremendous place to compete, and it's all our responsibility to keep it that way. So welcome aboard, sir. And best wishes. My hat is absolutely off to you today and always.
Elevator.